Yeah, we were talking about it in my Discord. I have an Escape from Tarkov just channel that like people want to chat in if they want to. We talked about the Unheard edition. Sorry. Really, where I'm at is that to me, it doesn't affect me. This is really the first wipe I've really played the game for one. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm super upset and it just changes the way I'm going to play the game or the way I feel about the game, because it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. However, there is the reality behind kind of, I guess, this decision, right? And it's like, it's more of a, hey, why did you guys decide to do this? This was a very bad idea. What's going on? It kind of shafts players, and really, what, in my opinion, who it shafts the most, and really where the problem lies to me, is all the people that bought EOD. Especially the people that bought EOD. You've really kind of basically told those players thanks, but no thanks. If you remember, right, the list comes down of like, you know, free future DLCs and free future content. So the idea of the EOD tier was, hey, this is your all access price point for everything we will ever give you in the future. That was how they sold EOD. So that's why people bought it. They're like, hey, I like this game, let's buy EOD because I want everything they're gonna make. Then they did the offline mode. Give us $10 for that or whatever it was. And then they have the extra stash spaces. I'm okay with them selling extra stash spaces, I guess. I'm not too butthurt about that. I can understand that being kind of a micro transaction. That's not really downloadable content. Offline mode should have been free for EOD. And then they come out with the whole PvE mode. That's DLC, and they try to pawn it off as saying, "No, it's not DLC. It's a feature." Like, don't treat your player base, especially the hardcore, which you have a lot of hardcore players in this community. I'm not one of them. I would like to be one day, but you have a lot of hardcore people that love this game and have played this game and really understand this game, and you're basically treating them like they're ignorant. It's very unfortunate to me, being a newer player and not being an owner of EOD, right? I don't really have a strong negative opinion, like to where it like makes me feel a certain way about the game. However, I definitely can kind of feel for and understand why other players, especially EOD owners, would feel differently. Like I said, I have no negative feelings towards them, really. I just feel bad. I feel bad for the EODers. I feel like the EODers are getting shafted. I feel like you should have gotten most of what was in the Unheard edition. Like, maybe, like, what if I had 6,000 hours in this game and I still am very passionate about it? I would, you know, and maybe I haven't bought any other games in a long time, months if not years. You know, I may be more inclined to drop $100 on it, but you know, I'm obviously not in that situation, so you know, I could see it both ways. I really could, but I'm gonna get the same amount of enjoyment for not spending that. Is the thing. The way I look at it, again, me. If you and I put the same amount of hours into the game, we have the same amount of hours enjoyment. I just spent less money for the same amount of hours of enjoyment. The exception to that being, you do have a PvE mode, but I'm kind of the stance of the PvE versus the actual game. I have a feeling that with the PvE mode, you're going to lose some of the charm of what Escape from Tarkov is, which is the PMC, the other players, right? I don't really want to go into a raid knowing there's no other players. I feel like that makes me play differently and just W key into scavs until I die. Whereas like right now, I tend to try to play a little more tactical. I don't always, right? We all know this. You guys have watched me play this game. I'm trash at it. I'm glad we're having this conversation. This is a fun conversation for me. I like to talk about stuff with people. So this is fun for me. There's really there's no comparison to this game right now. And I even think with as decent of I'm not going to say good. I'll say as decent as a reception as Gray Zone got from their closed beta. I don't think it has the depth to contend and take over this game. I don't think any of the other ones that are coming out in the near future do either. But we'll have to wait and see. It's actually like this: I buy the car from you for $1,000. You give me the car, but you don't give me the key for the car, okay? And then you say, I'm gonna give you $500 and I'll mail you the key. I'll say, okay, here's $500, mail me the key. And then you go, all right, keys in the mail. Well, guess what? I never received the key, but you say keys in the mail. Or is my tracking number? That'll be another $250 for the tracking number. Then I give you $250 for the tracking number, and I don't get the tracking number. And then you send me, and then you say, okay, I'll give you a picture of me putting it in a bag and walking and like putting it in my mailbox for another $100. So I give you $100, and then you give me a picture of you putting it in the bag and putting that bag into the mailbox, into your mailbox, and then I still don't see it after a few weeks. And he goes, oh, give me another $50 and I'll put the flag up so that the mail delivery guy actually takes the mail. My bad. Mentioning queue prio, why would you even need queue priority? Like, queues aren't that bad in this game anymore, man. Not to me, anyways. Like, I don't mind waiting 5 minutes for a queue. There are decisions that they are making that are solely beneficial for them and not for the consumer. And they are fully within their right to do that. However, none of us have to like it. I have a game that both my wife and I enjoy. There aren't many. I'm just trying to have fun gaming. If you are angry about video games, step back from them. Fair enough. Because I guess when I look at something like this, I look at it from a consumer side, right? Not from the business side, because I'm the consumer. I think it's as simple as you vote with your it's the saying, right? You vote with your wallet, right? I'm not going to buy it. Granted, we're a small portion of the player base, but you vote with your wallet in these situations. And there are forums, right? You can go to forums, you can go to Twitter, you can go and do the screaming into the void piece. You can definitely do that, and at a certain level it will work and people will hear you. But really, at the end of the day, you've got to vote with your wallet. And when people buy it, right, a company is going to take that as, well, people are going to buy it, we're going to make it. From my initial conversation points in our in my Discord, you know, I would say that I've definitely stepped down a bit from the initial annoyed. I would say I was very annoyed. That's probably the best way for me to explain where I was at that point in time. Is I was very annoyed that they would do this, not to me, right? Because this doesn't really affect me as not an EOD owner. But I was annoyed at what this means for the consumer base and for the EOD peoples like you.